Imagine you are standing in a quiet corridor, just outside a private lounge, late in the evening. Earlier in the night, the building was filled with movement. Conversations unfolded across several rooms, introductions were exchanged quickly, and the energy of the gathering carried through the space as people moved between discussions. Now the pace has slowed. Most of the guests have already begun. Leaving the corridor feels noticeably calmer, and only a handful of conversations remain inside the lounge behind you. You find yourself standing with a small group near the entrance, continuing a discussion that began earlier in the evening. The conversation feels relaxed, yet the people here are listening carefully. Pause. One participant is describing a project their team has been developing over the past year. They explain the problem they are trying to solve and how their approach could reshape the way several organizations address the issue. You listen as another participant asks how the idea might expand beyond its current environment. Someone else reflects on why similar efforts struggled in the past and what might make this one different. For several minutes, the conversation moves naturally. People exchange perspectives and test possibilities without pushing toward a conclusion. Pause again. Then one participant who has been listening quietly asks a simple question. Who else have you been discussing this with? The question sounds casual, yet something about the way it is asked changes the tone of the conversation. Pause. The person describing the project answers thoughtfully. They mention a few early conversations and explain that the work is still developing. The listener nods slightly as they hear the response. Then they say something interesting. There are a couple of people you might find useful to speak with. Pause again. The comment is delivered casually. Yet you notice that the others nearby seem to register the remark more carefully than the words alone would suggest. A participant standing beside you glances briefly toward the speaker. Another person shifts their attention toward the person who had been describing the project. The atmosphere has changed in a subtle way. Pause. The conversation continues for a moment. Then the participant adds another sentence. Some of us are meeting again tomorrow morning to explore a few of these ideas more seriously. The statement is simple, but the meaning settles differently now. Pause again. You begin to realize what is happening. This is not merely a continuation of the current discussion. It is the appearance of a doorway. The conversation has moved from exchanging ideas to deciding who may be included in the next stage of the discussion. Moments like this appear often in environments where influence moves quietly through relationships. Access rarely arrives through form announcements. Instead, it appears through small signals that indicate curiosity and trust. Pause again. The participant who mentioned the meeting turns slightly toward you. If you're around tomorrow morning, you're welcome to join us. The invitation is delivered lightly, almost as if it were a casual suggestion. Yet the room feels different now. Pause. You begin to understand that the conversation has quietly crossed a threshold. Earlier in the evening, people were simply exchanging ideas. Now the discussion is moving into a smaller circle where those ideas may be explored more seriously. Pause once more. To someone unfamiliar with environments like this, the invitation might sound like a simple scheduling detail, just another meeting. But experienced participants recognize the moment immediately. Because when an invitation to the next room appears, it often means the conversation has moved from curiosity into trust. And the conversations that follow tend to shape what happens next.